there, I'm Ken, and you're watching Celts Can Cook, the Scottish cooking channel that encourages young men and women to have the confidence and competence they need to conquer the kitchen. Now, what recipe do I have for you today? Oh, you're going to love it. Steak fajitas. I know we've done something like this before with chicken, but this time it's steak and it's a marinade. Now, it's not grilled because I don't have a grill, and because of quarantine still going on, it's very hard to go outside and find a grill to use. So, we're going to cook it on our stovetop. Don't worry, eventually I will get a grill episode. I hope. Assuming there is no second wave of corona. Let's be about it, shall we? Alright, now from the start, these are all our ingredients all lined up, but if you want the full recipe, it's down in the comments below. First pinned comment. We're going to start by making our marinade. I'm doing this the day before, and it takes 2 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of cumin, 2 tablespoons of lime juice concentrate. If you want to slice an actual lime and use that, that's fine, I guess you can do that, but that seems like a lot more effort to me. And 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Oh, and a teaspoon of black pepper. This can also be fresh ground pepper if you want. Me, I just get all my ingredients from the Costco. Oh, and a lot of garlic. This is, I don't know, 3 cloves, 4 cloves. I don't really pay attention to how much garlic I put in. Oh, and a half cup of olive oil. You can either use olive oil or avocado oil or grapeseed oil. I don't really care. Use your own oil. Maybe don't use peanut oil. Oh, now this is soy sauce. I didn't have any actual bottles of soy sauce in making this recipe, but my neighbours, wonderful people that they are, gave me a whole lot of packets of soy sauce that they got from various trips to restaurants. And yeah, I took about 8. 8 to fill up a half cup worth of soy sauce. It's fantastic. Now, when it comes to our peppers, the seeds are the hottest part of a pepper. So, if you didn't want it to be very spicy, de-seed them. Otherwise, mince it all nice and fine, scrape it on in there. This is a habanero. Make sure you don't touch your eyes when you cut in a jalapeno or a habanero. You'll be screaming right afterwards. This is some cilantro. We're going to mince it up nice and fine. About, I think it's 15% of the population can't eat cilantro because of a weird genetic condition where it says they taste like soap. Some people I've heard say it tastes like a corpse. So if cilantro doesn't taste good to you, don't worry, there's something biologically wrong with you. This is a cheap beef roast. I don't remember what kind, but you know, the cheaper the better when you're going to marinate. I'm sure the real chefs will be in the comments yelling at me, "Oh, kid, what are you doing? It's not the cheaper the better." Well, I'm Scottish. The cheaper, the better. Now that our marinade is done, we're going to take an onion and cut it. This is bell pepper. We're just going to mince it up nice and fine. And by mince, I just mean cut it a few times. Into reasonably sized chunks. And scrape that into our veg bowl. 2 bell peppers, by the way. This is our roast. It's been sitting in the fridge for a day. And as you can see, the colour's a little bit different, but that's fine. That's just all the juicy goodness getting into it. We're going to cut some of that disgusting connective tissue off. I am not a butcher, so I am going to accidentally get a bunch of meat in with us. Sorry. Did you come here expecting perfection? You are sorely disappointed. We're going to cut this into chunks to make it easier to break down into smaller pieces. And we're only going to cook that what I think I'm going to use for today. Other than that, we're just going to sit it back in the refrigerator in the marinade. We're going to cut against the grain. The grain is those nice striated portions of meat. Aye. This is not a sharp knife, by the way. That's why it takes me some time to cut through meat that should be very, very simple to cut through. And just clean it up a wee bit more. Now, I add way too much oil to this. You can get by with a quarter size oil when you're going to be cooking veg. I don't know why I put this much oil in. You should only be using that much if you're going to be deep fat frying something. But look at that colour, eh? I am very proud of that colour. We're only going to cook it to the point where it's just starting to give way. We don't want it to be crispy, and we don't want our veg to be, soft and disgustingly mushy. Let your pan heat up quite a bit before you cook your meat on there. If this was a grill, we'd let the charcoal get nice and hot first. But as it is, we make do with what we got. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? Oh, makes me hungry just looking at it. Now, we're going to heat our tortillas on an open flame. Don't let it sit long for either side, just keep flipping it and keep flipping it. If you start to smell burnt tortilla, you've let it sit for too long. But this is just about the right amount of time. Perfect. And there you have it, an absolutely splendid steak fajita. It was delicious and I loved cooking it every single time for leftovers. As I've said before, the full recipe is down in the comments below. If you liked this episode, give it a like. If you disliked it, give it a dislike. You've been on YouTube before, you know what it is. But make sure you come back next week because I'm going to do an absolutely fantastic Father's Day episode where it's going to be a barbecued pork bacon cheeseburger. Oh, it's fantastic. You're going to love this one. In the meantime, you're watching Kilt Can Cook, the Scottish cooking channel that encourages young men and women to have the confidence and competence they need to conquer the kitchen. I'll be seeing you.